Hi, my name is Braxton Huber, and I'm going to be sharing my applied project, Teaching Manding with Pointing, an ABAB reversal design study. This study addresses a critical need in our field, providing functional communication alternatives for individuals who currently have no effective way to express their wants and needs. My client's pseudonym is Erin. She is a 7-year-old girl with level 3 autism. When I began working with Erin, she had absolutely no functional communication skills. Instead, she would grab people's hands and physically guide them to what she wanted. When this didn't work, which happened pretty often, she would escalate to screaming, crying, and hitting. This presented a significant barrier not just to her learning, but to her quality of life and her family's daily functioning. The literature strongly supports functional communication training for reducing problem behaviors, with studies showing up to 98% reductions in challenging behaviors when individuals learn appropriate communication alternatives. My research question was, will teaching a learner to man with pointing increase successful manding behaviors during ABA sessions? So my method, I used an ABAB reversal design, which is the standard for demonstrating experimental control in single subject research. This design allowed me to show that changes in Aaron's behavior were directly related to my intervention, not just coincidence or maturation. I structured the study by collecting data across 21 sessions, alternating between baseline and intervention phases. During baseline phases, I simply presented manding opportunities and recorded what happened naturally. No teaching or prompting. During intervention phases, I systematically taught Erin to point when she wanted something. This involved physical prompting initially, and then I faded down the prompts to gestural prompts, and then to independent responding. I measured the percentage of successful manding attempts out of total opportunities each day, which gave me a clear objective measure of her progress. All data was collected during her regular ABA sessions using our clinic's Motivity software. So for my results, looking at my graph, you can see the experimental control that was demonstrated across all 4 phases. In the first baseline, Erin's success rate averaged only 10.7%. Essentially, she was successful at communicating through pointing less than 1 out of every 10 opportunities. And when I introduced the intervention, her success rate jumped to 46.5% on average. Then, when I withdrew the intervention in the second baseline, it was kind of interesting. Her performance maintained. So, I believe that she partially learned the skill and was not just performing it when prompted. Um, and after the second intervention phase, her success climbed to 56.9%. This upward trend suggests continued learning and skill refinement. The vertical lines on my graph show the phase changes from baseline to intervention to baseline to intervention. Okay, for implications and what I learned, this study taught me several important lessons. First, even individuals with severe autism can learn functional communication skills through systematic instruction. Erin went from having no effective communication to successfully pointing for her once more than half the time. From a treatment design perspective, this suggests that gesture-based communication can be an excellent starting point for individuals who aren't ready for more complex systems, like PECs or speech-generating devices. Pointing is natural and requires no equipment and is generalizable and can be understood by anyone. For future interventions, I would recommend starting with simple pointing for highly preferred items and gradually expanding to more complex communication needs. The maintained responding during our second baseline suggests that once learned, these skills can persist even without constant reinforcement. For limitations and future directions, this study had a few important limitations that future research should address. First, this was a single participant study conducted in one setting, which limits how broadly we can apply these findings. We also don't know if Aaron's pointing would generalize to other people or environments. If I were to conduct the study again, I would include multiple participants to strengthen external validity. I'd also add generalization probes, testing whether Erin would point with her parents, teachers, or siblings and in different settings like home or school. Additionally, I would collect longer term follow up data to assess maintenance over weeks or months to see long term impact. In conclusion, this study demonstrates that systematic behavioral intervention can provide individuals with severe autism a pathway to functional communication. For Erin specifically, learning to point has reduced her frustration behaviors and increased her independence. This work reinforces the importance of individualized evidence-based approaches to communication training and highlights the potential for even simple gestures to dramatically improve quality of life.